Welcome to NeoRetro Reviews, a brand new RGN series where we dive into modern indie games inspired by the classics. Let's start off by hitting the track with Tiny Racing, a retro-inspired top-down arcade racer available on Steam and itch.io. Right away, it captures the classic arcade vibe. Colourful pixel visuals, quick-fire races, and short tracks that keep the action snappy. You can choose from 3 different cars, from drifters to trucks to little formula-style races, and take on 18 tracks across day and night variants, plus modes like quick races, tournaments and time trials. Now let's talk about the controls, and this is where the game shines. Handling is smooth and responsive with just the right mix of arcade looseness and precision. Cars feel different enough to matter, and drifting around corners is easy to pick up but rewarding to master. It's instantly accessible, which makes it great for local split screen with friends. And honestly, that's the core appeal. It's just fun. The kind of fun where you're yelling at the screen, laughing at silly crashes and begging for one more round. Even solo, it's satisfying to nail those perfect corners and shave seconds off your lap times. But it's not flawless. The AI rubber banding is harsh. No matter how cleanly you drive, the CPU cars always seem glued to your bumper. Sure, it keeps races close, but it can feel unfair when skill doesn't give you the edge it should. Also, the track selection, while charming, isn't endless varied, so the game can lose steam if you marathon it. Still, the bottom line is that Tiny Racing is pure, uncomplicated fun. It's not deep, it's not packed with content, but for quick, arcade-style chaos, especially with friends, it's an easy recommendation. Time to hover across to Rescue Heli RH407, a retro-inspired helicopter rescue game that's free to try right now on Steam. The setup sounds simple: fly in, pick up stranded people and bring them back to safety. But the pressure is real. Fuel is limited, obstacles are everywhere, and since your passengers aren't strapped in, one sharp tilt or hard landing can send them flying. I'll be honest with you, at first I found the controls tricky. The helicopter is super sensitive and I crashed plenty. It did take me a couple of sessions with the game, but I eventually got the feel for it and became hooked. That balance between arcade accessibility and physics-based precision makes every successful rescue feel earned and very satisfying. Visually, the game uses 2.5D style graphics, clean retro shapes and pixel-like simplicity, but with depth and perspective that makes levels feel alive. Platforms shift, environments open up, and geometric structures give it a stylish, almost abstract look. It's minimal, but it works, and it keeps that classic arcade feel without looking dated. And what helps fight repetitiveness is the variety of settings. Levels shift between different environments, each bringing new layouts, hazards, and surprises, so it doesn't just feel like the same mission over and over. Rescue Heli RH407 can be challenging at first, but once you lock into its rhythm, it's addictive, rewarding, and packed with that just one more try energy. The 8BitDo family of devices has been a long staple over at RGN HQ, fulfilling the core basis of my retro and modern day gaming needs over the years. So I was quite interested when the 8BitDo reached out to me to try out their Ultimate 2 wireless controller, a gamepad that promises pro-level precision with retro-friendly vibe. This snazzy looking purple edition really pops with its matching dock and vibrant RGB light rings around the thumbstick. The Ultimate 2 Wireless is a premium controller that features new TMR thumbsticks that are designed to resist drift and feel super precise compared to a standard controller. And seriously, I've found them to live up to the marketing hype in this respect, and this instantly makes the controller feel like a premium product. The Hall effect triggers are quite snappy and register with just the minute press. Feel-wise, the controller feels really comfortable in my small hands, though I suspect that it may be a little narrow for bigger hands. So while the sticks are smooth and the triggers snap nicely, the D-pad is the weak spot for me. It's usable, but just not as precise as I would expect it to be for retro style gaming, as you can expect unintentional registering of diagonals to be a common occurrence. Connectivity is excellent, You get Bluetooth, USB-C and a super low latency 2.4 GHz mode with the dongle included within the dock. It works great on Windows and Android, and it also supports Mac OS, but only over Bluetooth. On top of that, 8BitDo's ultimate software lets you remap buttons and adjust dead zones, set macros, fine-tune stick responses, and customize the RGB ring lights to your heart's content. But to be honest, this level of customization is more than I really require for my own personal gaming needs. But one thing that I think is really cool is the ability to cycle through ring light settings with just the controller itself, including setting the level of intensity of lights. Just note that keeping the RGB lights maxed up will drain the battery faster, but seriously, the lighting effect is simply too cool to switch off. The 8BitDo Ultimate 2 wireless isn't perfect. The D-pad should be better for a premium product, and some may find the grip a bit small. But for its precision sticks, deep customization and multi-platform support, it's one of the best third-party controllers you can grab right now, and the overall presentation of the product is top-notch. If you want drift-free accuracy and the flexibility to play on PC, Android or even Mac via Bluetooth, this one's a solid pick. Time to check out SU-42 Hired Gun, a retro-styled 2D shooter that's currently only out as a free demo on Steam, with a full release still on the way. Right off the bat, the vibe is pure arcade nostalgia. Hand-drawn graphics, pixel-perfect explosions, and a synthwave soundtrack that slaps. Think 80s shooter energy, but polished for today. But SU-42 Hired Gun is not just an ordinary run and gun. Here's a twist.
Hold your position.
Character switching. You pick 2 mercs out of 8 and swap instantly mid-battle. Each has unique weapons and abilities, so you're not just playing one style, you're mixing strategies on the fly. Enemies even adapt to your approach, so timing your swaps can mean a difference between surviving a boss fight or getting wrecked. Levels play out across speeding trains, packed with bosses, mini-bosses and plenty of chaos. Visually, the game really stands out. Instead of stock pixel art, every sprite and background is hand-drawn with tons of little details. The mercs have unique animations, the trains feel alive, and explosions pop with that gritty illustrated comic book vibe. It's got the nostalgia of old arcade shooters, but with a fresh, handcrafted look. Since levels often play out on trains with repeating enemy waves, the action can feel a little samey if you marathon the demo. Variety will really matter in the full release, and I really hope the dev team can strike the right balance as they continue to tweak the game through to full release. So if you're into retro shooters with a modern twist, SU-42 Hired Gun is absolutely worth a try. And you can check out the demo on Steam right now. I'll be keeping an eye out for the full release.
Hold your position.
In Woods is a roguelike survival arena game that hit Steam over 12 months ago. If you've played Vampire Survivors or similar swarm shooters, you'll feel right at home here. Waves of enemies, random upgrades, and endless scaling chaos. But In Woods adds a neat twist. You can actually gather resources from the environment. Chop down trees, smash pots, harvest wood, then use those materials to craft to enhance weapons or gear mid-run. It adds just enough depth to keep things interesting. What really adds variety is the different game worlds. You don't just find in one endless arena. There are themed environments that shift the vibe. Forest clearings, spooky graveyards, and other biomes mix up the scenery and enemy patterns. Each world changes how you approach survival since different resources and hazards appear depending on where you are. The art style is low poly and stylized, simple, clean and functional. The cool part is that much of the scenery is destructible, which keeps the arenas feeling alive. The soundtrack and sound effects are light and bouncy, nothing groundbreaking, but they fit the pace. Gameplay is all about survival runs with a satisfying core loop of mowing down enemies, leveling up, unlocking new characters and taking on bosses. But like many roguelikes, repetition sets in after several runs. Also, frame drops or stutters may be experienced during the more intense waves, and while the crafting system is a great hook, it could use more variety to stay engaging in the long run. Overall, In Woods isn't a revolution, but it's a fun, budget-friendly roguelike with unique crafting and multi-worlds to explore. If you're into swarm shooters with a twist, it's definitely worth a shot on Steam. And that is a wrap on the first episode of NeoRetro Reviews. Hopefully there was something here that piqued your interest. Until next time, bye for now.